On the money topic, though, I do want to get to this as well, because this is kind of the last layer of the Shōta Imanaga sweepstakes, and it is official. He is a member of the Chicago Cubs. Look at this fanciness. 4 years, $53 million. Yes, Kratz, you nailed it. After 2 years, hold on, let me give the money, and then you can dunk. After 2 years, the team has the option to extend the contract to 5 years, $80 million. They can also do that after year 3. But each of those years, right, if they don't extend the contract to 5 years, 80 total, Imanaga can say, screw you, I'm a free agent. That's how I look at it in my head. Obviously, the reporters say it a little more maturely. And there's Jesse adding on. Obviously, if both sides decline their options in the deal, his 4-year contract remains in play. Okay, Kratz, you can brag for a sec.
No, I just am bragging because I had $52 million that he was going to get. I thought the $100 million was too much. This is great. To me, this is a great structure for both sides. If he feels like $80 million for a guy of his caliber, I think is a lot of money. But for the Cubs, you're making him earn that $80 million. So to me, I'm great with this. What does that make the posting fee, though? I never saw what the posting fee was because I couldn't figure out. It's below
10.
It's just 10, even though
it's like 9.8 something. Yeah, it's $10 million.
Okay. So the posting fee, you got a number 4, number 5 starter for $63 million, $62 million for 4 years, essentially. That seems like a great price.
First of all, did you sit down and go through every free agent and take a guess on how much they were going to sign?
He does.
That's what I want to know.
I'll show you the list. It's probably
I did for most of them too.
Nerd alert! God, nerd alert! Nerd alert! I mean, holy cow, dude! If I would have had to do that, I would have rather.
The guy's got 8 kids and he's still doing it.
Seriously, there's no chance. How do you have time for that?
I was just you read the articles. I was reading the articles, and I'm like, okay, I got to put that. Like I started with Shohei. And Shohei, it was probably I wrote like this much with Shohei, and then I'm like, wait a minute, why don't I just make like a chart? So I just went through who's available, and I'm like, I think he should get this much. So I was way. I'll explain some of the ones at the end of the offseason that I was way off on. Shohei's the one I wrote down. He's worth $70 million, and I wrote on there, no chance he gets $70 million a year. Well, way off, but it's fun. I like it. I enjoy seeing how right I am.
Well, Kratz, you should have explained.
How wrong you are.
I'm a simple man. I live in rural Pennsylvania. My kids are not, toddlers, so I don't need to watch their every step. It's not baseball season for coaching right now, and I wake up freaking early.
Yeah, I don't have a hobby. I don't golf because nobody invites me to go golfing, so I enjoy it.
I rip weights and I put numbers down next to free agents.
I do.
What's wrong with that?
Seriously, there's got to be something better to do with your time.
I did it too.
Well, yeah, I expect you to do it though.
I'm a nerd.
Friends.
I'm a nerd. I like it.
You know what? Hey, Kratzy, so he's talking about being friends. I had to put a new lock on my door but now I can control it by my phone, so I can lock Scott out or in, and it's a combo, and I will not give him the combination.
Please lock him in one day.
Oh my gosh, just lock him in.
The problem is, if he gets a little too cute with this, I will show my superhuman strength and rip the lock out of the door.
That's why you're buying a new door.
I will rip the whole door out. I'll be walking down the street in Orlando with a door in my freaking arms, and I'll just bring it to my apartment and say, problem solved.
That just happened.
Cheers.
Cheers. I like that.
Anyway,
cheers.
Top Father, you weren't on with us yesterday, and I know none of us have seen a ton of Shōta Imanaga, and obviously I don't think any of this group's seen him in person unless you're at one of those WBC games or you spent some time in Japan in the past year. But I've never seen, I don't want to say never, but I've seen a lot of differing opinions, and we covered this the last couple of days in terms of what he can be. And I'm intrigued. I mean, there's some people are like, this is a steal. This guy has upside of a 2 or a 3. If that's true, and you're getting him for $50 to $80 million on the free agent market at 30 years old, that is an absolute steal. there are other teams, like there was a tweet from Alex Pavlovich, who covers the Giants for NBC and does a good job, and I can find the exacts, but he basically said, like, well, let me just find it. It'll take me 8 seconds to find it. Let's
just hope he's not Keigawa. And I brought that up to, I think, Inosaurus.
Yes.
And like Keigawa, for people who don't remember, you have to be a Yankees fan to remember. He pitched his entire, I want to say, I didn't look it up. I want to say he probably had like a $17 to $20 million contract, but he pitched most of it in AAA in Scranton. He was a guy that pitched. He had sunglasses on in like his first start in the big leagues. Left-handed pitcher, right? Left-handed. Now I'm
lefty.
That. Yeah, he's lefty.
Yeah,
he has blue glove. Like it was one of those things, and you hope he's not that. But at $50 million, they've given some prospects in the minor leagues $35 million, $40 million that haven't panned out. So that's the new going rate.
What was the guy for the Red Sox? The Cuban guy, Castillo?
Oh, Rusney Castillo just was the richest AAA player of all time. Oh my gosh. They couldn't bring him up. That's a complicated case. But here, I'll give you, I found it, Todd. So Alex Pavlovich said yesterday, I've seen a lot of confusion about Giants and Imanaga. They were never a front runner here. People just went wild with rumors. They viewed him as more of a back-end starter and prefer other guys that they still plan to add to the rotation. You like what you're looking at too, by the way, on the screen in the WBC with that heater?
I do like that.
Change up. Missed location. We're cherry picking. we're cherry picking. But to me, like, he's gonna have to learn to. And I read something. Was it Eno that said it, or was it the guy we had on that does all the stuff for the Cubs? He does a lot of analytical stuff.
Lance Brozdowski.
Yes, Lance was talking about how possibly they see some upside in the ability to. This was before the Cubs signed him, so he wasn't being a homer. They see the possibility of him being able to, the way the shape of his curveball / slider sweeper thing, being able to manipulate that, and they pointed to his athleticism with a strong lower base, talking about how they can improve his breaking stuff. And if he can do that, that plays off of that super straight heater that has late life in the zone.
Here's my thing: as a lefty, I'm facing a guy that doesn't have a very good breaking ball. Give me a bat. Because if he's just going to throw me high fastballs, I can figure that out.
Yep.
Right? If he doesn't have anything, you better hammer me in. But if he doesn't, if he's just away from the videos. I mean, obviously, I haven't watched as much as Kratz, and I haven't made as many predictions. But I mean, if I'm just facing a lefty and I'm a left-hand hitter, and he doesn't have a breaking ball, then I'm diving all out on that plate. I'll eventually figure out how to hit a heater.
Yep.
I mean, but his every fastball I saw was a four-seamer. Yep. So there's nothing coming in on me. It's dive yank for me. It'd be Todd Frazier from the left side.
Whoopsie.
Dive yank.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I love lefties. I love facing lefties. I like what I saw there. We did have mixed reviews. Some guy said he's the next thing since sliced bread. Somebody said 4 or 5 starter. But I mean, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, I think. Let's see what he does once he gets over here. You need to develop that off speed, especially as a lefty. And if you're not hitting 95 plus consistently, that ball's going to be getting hit, because it did look pretty straight. But I'm not going to make my prediction or anything right now, or conclusion. He's a lefty, and when he faces other lefties, I'm sure he's going to, once he has his control, he's going to be pretty good. So it's a wait and see for me.
And you get the whole, separation. How much, like a guy like Todd is going to me, would feast off of what I see from Shōta, because that fastball, you couldn't throw a fastball fast enough for Todd. He's going to be out in front of a fastball. So then, okay, how do you throw that changeup? For me, his changeup, I know some people are saying splitter, but analytically, the thing I read, it didn't say it was a splitter, is how much depth can he get from that if he's not spinning anything? Because Todd's going to see that spin out of a lefty's hand and be like, nope, I don't need to swing at that. Nope, he's on the fastball. How much depth can you get for him to be able to chase it? Because a lot of these Japanese guys come over, and even like a Tanaka could throw 97 to 98. He never did. He just, he manipulated his spin. And I'm not saying he is Tanaka. I'm saying how does he assimilate himself to the big league hitter who can time up a bullet? Like AJ said, he can time. I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'll stand 10 feet in front of the Iron Mike machine or the Hack Attack and be able to get on top of a pitch eventually.
I know the first thing they're going to do with him, and yeah, they might work on refining like their slider inconsistency there too, because sometimes it looks good and sometimes it doesn't. But I know the first two things they're going to tell him. Number one, give me your high-speed fastball every time. Screw that 90. Give me that 94 I saw in the WBC. We do something here called 5 and dive, or even 4 and dive.
And he gets to pitch
Let me
once a week
introduce
here.
you.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, and I will say, and speaking of Lance Brazowski, he had a really good photo that, well, it was part of a video and people took screenshots that showed where his fastballs were in the zone in the WBC, and they were everywhere, right? And then they're like that 4-speed or 4-seam with carry heater in MLB right now, and it's still the trend. We go up here mostly with that.
Yep.
So that's the first two things I think you'll get from the Cubs, right, Kratz?
100%. And the Cubs are really good at that stuff. They've been on the forefront of all that analytical data. They just don't get as much credit as like the Rays and stuff because they haven't produced the pitching necessarily, but they have their own pitching lab down here in Arizona, and they'll be on top of it. They're not gonna squander him. Let's put it that way. Whether his stuff, plays in the big leagues, that's really going to be how much he can compete.
Do you know the other team that Jesse Rogers listed that had legit interest in him? We didn't get any other details of
the Red Sox.
Anything else? Well, the Red Sox, Kratz, I'll stop you there. The Red Sox are interested in everyone. They're in on everyone. Okay, that's just automatically part of every press release. But besides them, Pittsburgh Pirates
And Imanaga?
That's what Jesse said. They had some interest, but he chose Chicago, and he's been living in Chicago since Christmas.
Okay, here's the question for you.
How much?
I mean, the Pirates? Really? The Pirates. It's like saying the A's were in on them.
I think a new trend.
I mean, I hope this is true. And you know what I wish? I wish that like there was a way, and it'll never happen in a billion years. I wish there was a way that we could, after a guy signs, if you had actual formal offers on the table, like the formal offers came out, and then you could be like, because the Red Sox are like, oh, we made an offer. Yeah, it might have been to Shohei for 10 years, $10 million. Well, hey, we tried, guys.
I want to hear it.
I want to hear the actual.
I want to hear it. Yeah, I want to hear them all.
Like, what did the Pirates go to him with? Okay, here's 2 years, 20.
Did they even offer him anything?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to know.
Why can't we know? Why can't we know? Why is that? Why is it such a? I got one year in the minor leagues. I got a minor league offer. I think my second lowest offer for a contract in the minor leagues was like $7,500 a month. I got an offer as a minor league free agent from a team for $2,900 a month, and they thought I was actually going to take it. Like it was a legit.
What team? Oh my God!
Oh, Cincinnati.
It was back in 2009, and like I think
for your Louisville Bats.
Yeah, so you could they were going to send me to Double-A, and no big league camp invite. I was like, holy cow, the Reds think I suck.
You're going to go to the Nuga?
The Chattanooga. But no, like why can't we talk about it? Why can't when Hader comes on after he signs his contract, why can't he be like, brother, can you believe what the Phillies offered me? And then the Giants offered me this, and I took the Phillies contract because the Giants offered me $20 million less. Like, why can't we talk about that? Is there something like, do agents frown upon that?
I think Major League Baseball frowns upon that.
Why?
No, I think the reason they don't say it because what happens in the future, they become a free agent again, or like, oh, I burned that bridge about 5 years ago when I blew them up,
No, I hear it. So that's what I mean. Do you think it's from the agent? Because some of these guys, they're becoming free agents again.
Yeah, 100% it's from the agent.
And that, to me, then that would give the next guy, because a lot of free agency is and extensions help the next guy. If AJ signs a team-friendly extension, then when Eric Kratz, who's much, much younger than AJ Pierzynski, comes along, and I get lowballed because AJ didn't take, the most money. But if AJ takes, the best deal he can and waits for free agency, that elevates the money. But if we're always as players super quiet about this, and I've never been through the situation, so I don't know, but if we're always super quiet about it, this could elevate. Like, hey, you know what? Cody Bellinger gets offered $25 million a year from somebody, turns it down because he gets 27 from someone else. Reese Hoskins is like, oh, well, I can compare I know it's not a good comp. No, it's not a good comp because
here's the problem with that collusion. Because what happens? Because I had it happen where 3 or 4 teams call you and they offer you 1 year, $10 million.
Yeah, the exact same offer.
So that's why they don't want those numbers out there, because they're afraid of collusion. So they try to keep those numbers quiet.
But I'm saying as players, I'm not talking about teams. Teams love the fact that the Red Sox are loving the fact that, oh yeah, we were in on Shohei. We were in on. Okay, let's ask Shohei when he comes on here. Shohei, how much did the Blue Jays actually offer you? And if he's like, yeah, they offered me $690 million, to me, that shows the team, the fans of the Blue Jays, hey, you know what? We were in on them. Like back in the day, Josh Hamilton, the Philly fans wanted Josh Hamilton so bad when the Angels signed him. And to me, I'd like to know how much they offered him. How much did the Phillies offer him?
Good. It was a good decision by the Phillies.
No doubt. Ryan Madsen. I know what he got offered by the Phillies, and his agent was like, we're shopping somewhere else, and the Phillies took it off the table. Mad Dog had to go and sign a 1-year deal with the Reds, and he had to recoup his career because he ended up getting hurt that year. But to me, why can't we as players, not discuss this? Do the Giants put an offer out there for Shohei and hey, if you don't take this, do not tell anybody.
And here's another thing.
I agree. Let's normalize it. Let's bring it out there.
I'm with you 100%. And then you have fans like, yo, dude, you went to this team for $700 million and we offered you $690. What are you doing? You're greedy for money. Every time you come to our place, we're gonna boo you. You know
Good.
What I mean?
They're gonna boo him anyway.
What? I got $700 million in the bank.
Oh.
Well, I would say, yeah, your team should have offered more. They lost. If you ain't first, you're last. And I signed with the first place offer.
Take me to
They don't boo you because they don't boo you because they like you. They usually boo you because you broke their fucking heart.
Right.
Yep.
You're relevant.
I never got booed.